Westworld continued to build upon its strong start with a much more focused second episode. We got to see the park through the eyes of Dolores last week as she went through her loop of events day after day. Well, this week gave us the perspective from a guest as Jimmy Simpson's William and Ben Barnes' Logan entered the fold. As such, we got a much deeper insight into how the park operates, and it was really fascinating to see it from Jimmy's point of view. He, much like us, is only just beginning his journey into Westworld, so he's still asking the questions which we ourselves have on our minds. Like, how do you distinguish who's real and who's not? And from what we've seen, both these co-workers have starkly different personalities. William is much more quiet and cautious than Logan is, so I do wonder whether or not these two will part ways at some point during their stay. The real backbone of this week's episode though followed Thandie Newton's Maiev, as it looked like whatever Dolores caught off Mr. Abernathy was passed down to her as well. Remember, the final scene that we witnessed from last week's episode was Dolores swatting a fly, an act that an android should not be able to carry out. And now with Maiev acting out and even waking up during her diagnostics goes to show that this so-called glitch that Abernathy had is seemingly contagious. The phrase, "these violent delights have violent ends," was spoken by Dolores, then suddenly Maiev began acting out. This can't be a coincidence, as these are the exact same words that Abernathy whispered to Dolores last week. So, what on earth does it mean? Is it a key? Some form of code? Because it's certainly doing something that it shouldn't. A dream is just a concept for an android, or, well, it's supposed to be, but it seems Maiev's countdown technique worked far better than she could have expected. Again, another act that shocked the surrounding Westworld staff. They were convinced that she was in sleep mode, and for the part, she was. But now with this glitch, she found a way to wake herself up from it. And speaking about those diagnostics, that scene where she awoke mid-operation and wandered around those halls was chilling in a terrific way. It really gave you that sense of terror from her eyes. Imagine it, waking up into something that is completely unknown to you, then finding all of those shot up bodies has gotta mess with your head. And it worked to prove that a new layer of perception is beginning to form within the androids. Meanwhile, we got a little more info regarding the mysterious Man in Black, who continues to show that he is one evil son of a bitch. His body count continues to rack up as his looking to play the deeper game within Westworld started to gain some traction. He broke protocol with one of the androids who warned him that the maze he seeks was not meant for him. He didn't give two shits about that warning, mind you, but Stubbs at least confirmed for us that the Man in Black is definitely a guest, and someone who gets whatever the hell he wants. So I presume he's some kind of VIP or something? Either way, you do not want to cross paths with him.
How about I tell my man there to dig that grave a couple feet deeper?
Well, it's gonna be an awful tight fit for all of them.
After a brilliant premiere episode, Westworld continued to build upon its impressive new world. And for me, the second episode is a high 8 out of 10. New major characters were brought into the fold as Westworld continues to show us the depth of this adapting AI. A fascinating look, this time as a guest, gave the viewer perspective from the other side of the park. Ed Harris was once again terrific as the Man in Black, who I really hope sticks around for more than one season. But this episode belongs to Thandie Newton, who had plenty of material to work with. Her talk of dreams and a terrifying sequence back at the Westworld HQ showed us that Dolores' actions last week were not just a one-off. Maiev was having visions from her previous storylines, and it allowed her to awake into this very real world. She even picked up a weapon to protect herself from the staff. So if she can do that, who's to say she can't use it? Oh, and what did I tell you? Poor old James Marsden got blindsided again in the bar to have his brief appearance in the episode end with one more death. And again, I will not be surprised if this is a recurring theme. We were also treated this week to plenty more screen time for Anthony Hopkins. Dr. Ford's vision for Westworld is much more different than everybody else's. He doesn't view the park as a place to come for cheap thrills. He is all about the small detail, and his amusing and blunt denial of that new storyline that Lee put on that presentation for put him right in his place. The guy is so full of himself, it was about time someone was to do that. And it is interesting to note though, what is on Dr. Ford's mind? The board are expecting some form of storyline to be presented to them. He's been working on something new for quite some time, and gave Bernard a brief glimpse towards what that could be. So when he looked towards that church tower, is he bringing religion into Westworld? Or is this just the beginning for an idea of the grand scale? So what did you think about Westworld's second episode, and what do you guys think Dr. Ford has on his mind? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And I'll see you on the next one.
Something I've been working on for some time. Something quite original.